I hope you guys ready for our first section today. This section will be the guest opportunity for all of us to share your perspective to each other, exchange our knowledge about market insight, and I suggest that all of you guys prepare the question to ask with the country that sound interested to you. So, before we begin the section, I would like to introduce our commentator for today. The first, I would like to introduce Mr. Apiwis Pongpetarat, Director TPS Garden Furniture. Please welcome him. And the second, Mr. Wuttipong Panis Sethakon, Managing Director Quality Plus Aesthetic International. Please welcome him. And the last one, Dr. Nopon Ryangwanis. Please welcome him.
Thank you, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. So, I would like to introduce these two guys just a bit. The first one, Kun O, yeah, Kun O. The first one, yeah, Kun O. So, I just familiar with his nickname. He has a wide varieties of business in Myanmar, in Yangon. Okay, with like ranging from furniture, IT, fiber optics as well. Yeah, yeah, in Yangon. Yeah. And another one, Kun Wood. So he's been doing his business is cosmetic and some sort of startup in cosmetics as well, and penetrate into CMVT as well, CMMV regions. Yeah. Yeah, and Thailand of course is your base. Yeah. Okay, so some play rules. 10 minutes presentation. We will have a sign if you got 2 minutes left. Okay, once time's up, that's it. Okay, clear? That's it. And another Q&A from our commentators and recommendations that they may have. And another, I will randomly choose whatever country is it. Okay, whatever country is it to raise the questions to the presenting groups. Okay? So ensure that everyone pay close attention. All right. For now, presentation is about to begin. So everyone stop doing presentation. Since the presentation file is already there. So and stop doing your own work. So the only thing that you have to do, pay attention on the presentations, all right? This would be critical for your expansion, for your scale up. Clear? All right. Ready? So the first group, I'm going to pick Thailand coming up. Microphones, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm from Thailand. I would like to present an overview of my country. Okay, we will start with the first one. This is a outlook of the overview of the country. First of all, I would like to present the GDP of our country. GDP of Thailand this year is now forecasted around 3.2 to 3.9%. It's quite like not a good one, because we have a trade war. Like you know, we have a trade war between the USA and China. This affects Thailand so much, and there's effect to our export. The export this year will decline, all right, And the tourism sector is the significant sector in Thailand. We forecast that in this year, the number of the tourists will come to 40 million tourists this year. And the next one is consumer consumption in this year is growing up. The Thailand election, yes, as you know, we have the first election, the first time from 2014. We will have the new government now in this year, and it is good news for the environment, for the everything. I hope so. And the inflation of Thailand in this year is still at a low rate, around 1.1% this year. All right. Okay.
In the Thailand, consumer is have 5 regions in the Thailand, and the most people is in the northeast and the central, and the city that have the most people is the Bangkok. And we have a lot of the traveler every place in the Thailand. They have a lot. In case of demographic now, at the January 2019, we have Thai total population is 69 million, and it's in the female is 51.3%, and the male is 48.7%. And in this year, the population is growth is 0.2%, and the median age, we are coming to the aging society. Median age is 40, and urban population is 50%, and the city is 50% too. And GDP of the Thailand is 17,871, and overall literacy allowed age is 93%, and female is 91%, and the male is 95%. This information is come from the hot suit, and we are social. You can find the slide this slide. And our lifestyle, we are the funny people. If you can see our country lifestyle in the television, they have a lot. So we have a lot of the government and farmer, and we have many people in the urban. And this is the 10th of the 2018 from the Mintel about the consumption lifestyle. Now 79% we are going to have a healthy. We need a healthy food that allow the organic or something. We focus in the health because we are the aging society. And about the work in the new generation Y, we are the work-life balance. And 73% need to exercise. We have a lot of the running in the Thailand. If you are interested, you can join.
It's weird. Okay, sorry. I think the order is kind of backwards. Okay, so the startup ecosystem in Thailand, there's a bunch of startups, and in the early days, there's a lot more e-commerce. There's a bit of fintech. Right now, there's edtech, health tech, insurtech that's kind of coming up, and there's, according to the stats from TechSource, there's I think close to 100 startups that were funded. There's a lot of investors. These are the list of main venture capitals and angel groups, and there's a few prominent angel investors. So these are the ones that are a bit more public. In terms of media, of course, Texas, Wagner, these are some of the main media outlets. There's a bunch of events, both from the private sector, like Texas. There's events from the government sector, like the Startup Thailand, and a bunch of venture builders. There's a lot of co-working spaces. Some of the prominent global players like WeWork, JustCo have entered Thailand a few years ago. Hubba is one of the early community-style social co-working spaces, but in total there's around 100-ish co-working spaces. There's a lot of incubators as well. Some of the bigger ones happen to be corporate venture kind of backed accelerators, like True Incube sponsoring us, DTAC Accelerate, AIS, and Digital Ventures, which is kind of a spin-off from SCB, the bank. There's also quite a lot of government support. There's a lot of government organizations that help support startups, and the support comes in a few ways. The first is there's a lot of government bodies that give out grants to startups and SMEs to kind of help get them started. So there's the TED Fund by the Ministry of Science, the National Innovation Agency, DPA, but there's also tax incentives for investing in startups, so that if you register your company as a startup, and investors can kind of get tax incentives from investing. And also, of course, there's the Board of Investment, where if you register your startup, you kind of get tax breaks for a couple of years. That's it.
About the sector, from Deloitte, Thailand, we found that some industry have growth, like automobile. Sorry, about the arrow, it moved. The next is residential real estate and healthcare. So we can conclude that automotive, wholesale and retail, and residential real estate is growth sector in Thailand.
Okay, so the other aspect, now we have election, but the political is uncertainty. I don't know who will government. Okay, another the trade war vs America and China. Okay, I don't know when we will finish, when we will have some way to do. And the last thing, AEC policy. AEC means Asian Economic Community. That means the east of the Thailand will be growth for economic so much. Okay, that's all.
Okay, I need the questions from Myanmar, please. Myanmar. Go back to the slides.
The growing sectors.
The growing sectors.
One more. Next. Yep. Here in this slide, right, you mentioned that the residential real estate sector is growing.
It's because last year it is no, it's increasing last year.
So is like up and down. What I would like to know is that trend. I would like to understand how that residential real estate sector has been going up and down in Thailand, because we have similar trend in Myanmar as well. So now Myanmar real estate trend is going down, and I would like to know how can it go up, learning from Thailand.
Because about Thai law, we can sell condominium for foreigner, and last year there are investor from China, in speculator and investor from China, booking condo in Thailand.
Oh, so that's why it has been going up from
Yes,
2007.
yes.
So that is the condominium law that makes the trend go up in Thailand.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Questions from lounge.
Hello. Hi. I would like to know the reasons behind the fall in tourism industry in Thailand. Because for me, because we are outside Thailand, I see like, okay, Thailand tourism industry is growing. But when I see this trend, I was like, wow, it's going down. So I would like to know the reason behind that.
The first from economic crisis in Euro and USA, and tourism in Thailand become Chinese. And majority, and last year there are some accident in Phuket.
As
So-
you know, the majority of the tourism in Thailand depends on China people. As you know that we have some in China itself, they have some, I think like some problem in the China economic. So the majority of Chinese people affect the revenue of Thailand. That's why the graph is like this.
Thank you.
It's actually this arrow is for retail. It moved when I download from Google to PowerPoint, and the arrow is moved. Actually, this arrow
Supposed to be in
is wholesale
supposed
and
to be in
retail,
retail.
and this arrow is also moved.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So I have the question. So as I am the foreign startup, so if to reviews and startup around Asia want to penetrate and expand in Thailand, so what is your recommendation when we want to expand in here? What kind of support we can get? What kind of step we should do? Because I saw a lot of pictures related to incubators, government support in there, but can you explain to us in detail? Because we need to get detailed information that how will we process the first step in here.
Honest answer, I'm not sure, but I think there are a few startups that actually came from abroad. The big ones, of course, Grab, Gojek. In terms of support, I think there's I know that startups like Grab and other startups do work with the government as well. So there's definitely ways to get into Thailand. From what I know, most of the accelerators. Let me see. A lot of the accelerators mostly work with Thai teams, but the investors look regional anyways. So I think in terms of there's definitely support from the government. There's investors that can definitely work with you. That's most of what I know, I think. In terms of like investors or the government or?
Because, my question is like, if we want to expand in here, so what is the key point contact that we should work with? Because like with a ton of tech media, and mentor venture builder association in here. So what is your recommendation? What we should work with?
I think mainly where you might want to start is like the Startup Thailand or the Thai Tech Startup Association. I think those guys might be able to help you best because I used to work for Kaidi, which is kind of a Thai foreign startup as well. So I think there's a bunch of people that are involved in these associations that have some experience with starting the Thai branch and stuff like that.
Hello. What is the key challenge for startup in Thailand here? That do you think that is different from like the CLMV country?
Okay, so anyone key challenges for Thai startups that's different from the CLMV? I mean, personally, running a startup, I think I'm not sure if it's very different from other startups in the CLMV. But from my personal experience, it's finding the right product market fit, and looking at the situation in Thailand and what specific problems we're trying to fix. Because a lot of the times, we could look at the States, Europe, and we say, oh, this is a very good solution. We want to implement it in Thailand, but the situation's different. How do we get the right product market fit? I think that's one key challenge for us, and which might be different for different countries in CLMW as well. I think that's one thing. There's a lot of support, and I think at least knowing some of the investors, there's a lot of money that they want to invest. It's also for startups, it's bringing us up to that quality where they can actually invest in us. Anyone else that want to give?
Okay, can I have a question? Yeah, I'm Thanh from Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I want to raise a bigger question, not only about startup only, because now, as to my understanding, between the Vietnam and Thailand, there's still not much exchange in cargo moving. Yeah, so I want to ask, what is your main market in Southeast Asia for Thailand, and do you have a more intention to come to invest in Vietnam? Because now in Vietnam there is a very open market and quite a good environment for every investors.
Does anyone in the government want to answer this instead of? I'm from a startup point of view, and from me knowing some investors, I know that investors are actually looking at Vietnam as well. Of course, in this region, everyone wants to go to Indonesia first because there's more people, and then Thailand, Singapore. But I think Vietnam's also on the radar. And when we're doing startups, thinking about regional, of course, we're looking at starting in Thailand first, and then CLMW, or of course, a lot of the startups actually started expanding to Indonesia and Singapore. So that's kind of where the trend is. I mean, personally, if my startup could go to Vietnam, I'd love to.
So possibly, may I add about your explanation? I think it depends on the sector. Since the bank their digital venture from SCB, there's another from BBL or Bangkok Bank and Krung Si. So mainly they focus on investing in fintech, and somehow they expanding their market scope, market area from Thailand to the regional markets as well. Somehow recommendation for you guys, try to seek the local in such market. If you want to penetrate into Thailand, try to seek Thai startup. That would be easiest way. So I believe that they prefer to invest in Thai firm. That's the priority. But somehow, if such firm can show their capability in expanding in regional markets, so that would be a plus, since the market is scaled up. Yeah, that would be the recommendation. So, like for example, if you are in education, This is one of the education startup is Globich. Yeah, and of course they are still in domestic market, and of course they would like to go to like Vietnamese market that's much larger, yeah, than in Thailand. In Thailand, like tutorial services, education services are totally saturated, and there's a lot of substitutes and competitors. So they would like to jump into like the countries with the high growth birth rate. So we have very low growth birth rate. So that's not preferable to education industry.
Okay, so for me, I can explain a little bit about the trend of the startup in Thailand. Now we are moving to new S-curve. Since we launched the plan Thailand 4.0 Industrial 4.0, and then the trend of the government, they're trying to support a lot of startups that focusing on new S-curve, which can be aviation, logistic, can be biochemical, biorefinery, something related to the deep tech. And also medical hub. We plan to be medical hub in 2025, I think. And this is the field that if you are in this kind of field, or maybe you adjust your startup in this area, and then you get support from the government in Thailand. And also, in Thailand, we have a lot of fund and subsidiary. In case overseas startup would like to join and come to Thailand, maybe we can have like some collaboration, and then we use Thai as the representative to submit for the grant fund as well. So that's my answer, your question just now. And one more thing that may be useful for you guys, like if you would like to expand your business here, you might need endorser, like also the startup from outside country. In case you come to Thailand, you may have some collaboration with Thai Research Institute or university, and then you will have endorser to promote and support you, and the new generation also can understand your business as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, gentlemen. Avenger teams from Thailand. Pick. Yeah, pick the country. You just pick it. Yeah, and announce.
Myanmar.
Myanmar is next, coming up.
Good morning. Sawadee-krap. Mingalawa. I am Nui from Myanmar team and Go Oka from Myanmar team. We are representing our Myanmar team to talk about the regional landscape of Myanmar. First of all, we would like to make a request. We are not an economics expert, so there might be some mistake in our presentation. If there is such mistake, this is our personal lack of skills and knowledge, not related to other source of medias. Thank you. Okay, Myanmar. Myanmar is a new frontier for businesses in Southeast Asia. Myanmar is the 79th largest consumer market of the world. And recently, it has opened its doors to foreign investors. Let's take a look at the figures. So this is the GDP growth by three main sectors from 2013 to 2018. You can see that the GDP is growing, even though there are some slides in the GDP growth percentage. This is the GDP per capita compared to Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. You can see that Myanmar GDP per capita is the lowest among 4 countries within 10 years. This is up to 2017, but then the figures might be changing starting from 2018 onwards. Because of the rules and regulations and open government policies, focusing on the foreign investment. Okay, let's take a look at the population of Myanmar. We have over 51 million population. That is a large number of population. And 52% of them are female and 48% of them are male. And if you look at this, is the very important factors. Urban population is only 30%, and the rest are 70% of the population are rural areas. So if you are thinking coming to Myanmar to invest or for your startup as a regional expansion, you need to think of that factor, rural population. There will be some differences from urban population and rural population. You need to educate them. Literacy, technical knowledge are not there in that rural population. Okay, this chart shows you the household income of Myanmar families. You can see that 30% of Myanmar households earns 125 to 225 per month, which is quite low. Okay, that chart will tell you about the consumer behavior, how we spend our money. You can see that a big pile of chunk is on food and grocery, which is the necessity, because we don't have facilities for the luxury items. Okay, we prefer to buy groceries at the local markets instead of the supermarkets. But supermarkets are growing in Myanmar, and urban population going for the supermarket. I mean, urban population has footage in the supermarkets. Okay, this is the consumer spending and projection of the consumer spending. Okay, please let me pass the mic.
All right. So we don't want to depress with all the numbers. So this is to talk about the startup ecosystems. So these are the selected company, the startup that we chose, which are in the pre-seed, seed, and Series A stage. So you can see the food to you. Also, these startups are relevant to you because some of them are in the same sector. Food to you, Yangon door to door. They do the food delivery services. So they have an app and website. So you click an app. So the restaurants, somebody will go and pick it up, and they take the commissions. So Next Lab is a software house. They started as a digital marketing agency, but they become a fully software house supporting for the startup ecosystem in Myanmar. They are very expensive. So one app can be up to 30,000 to 300,000, but the quality is pretty good. So you can rely them as the support systems when you want to do business in Myanmar. Chaset, it's I will say the mother of the connecting one party to second party because they start out with the freelancing, so freelancing platform. So you post the job. So you are a company, you're a startup, you need IT, you need a technician, you need an accountant. You post the job, then they will find someone who can do the job. Juda, they are doing the same platform for tutoring, so educational platform. So now after Chuda, now you have lots of startup focusing on education. And of course, Recyclo, which is us, waste management company. So we do comprehensive waste management, offering a zero waste solution. We provide the platform for both B2B and C2C. We play along the supply chain. And yeah, we try to expand to them in the region as well. So RU47, which is the competitor of Lazada. In Myanmar, we have shop.com.mm, which is similar in Lazada. So they are trying to compete. So they recently got the funding, roughly $5 to $10 million from a Japanese fund. So in the Series A sort of stage. So just to really recap, because we don't want to bombard you with all the informations, but this is just your takeaway. So since we are a developing country, we're a very nascent ecosystem, and the startup ecosystem just boomed just 2 or 3 years ago. In 5 years ago, people were trying, but it fails and tests and tests and fail, tests and fail. So just really 2 or 3 years. So we focus on, if you are a consumer tech company, you still have a chance to, in Myanmar, you can be first of everything. You can be a first company in food tech or anything. So we now focus on consumer tech, stay very early. It's blue ocean, so for Edu reviews or like all those companies here, you can still go and like thrive there because it's still very new, and we try to now see the differentiation between SME and the startup, which is a big thing. And one thing that you need to keep in mind that we're not digitally literate yet, because 30% of urban population, 70% are rural. So in 2010, there was a telecom sector coming in from Telenor, which is known DTAC in Myanmar. DTAC in Thailand. They came and Ooredoo came. So digital literacy issue is a big issue. You have the telco coming in, but people have mobile phones, but they only use Facebook. This is which I want to talk about. So I think it might be the same country in a similar ecosystem like us. People only use Facebook. So that is a bad news for some startup because you try to get into your platform, but they are not using your platform. They're using the Facebook. Okay. So Viber, Grab, and Shop, they're the international player are currently running in the market. So Grab for the that for taxis and Shop for the online. So I'll pass it again. So when we look for the investor, we look for the regional investor. These are the very seed stage. So Myanmar, Pandia, BOD, Delta, EME. It's a very early stage pre-seed funding. But when we look for the money, we got the funding from Norway. We're also raising the money from Sweden. So this is a very seed. So we will also look for in Thailand as well. These are the incubators and accelerators that are running at the moment.
Thank you. And recently the government has started its support to the SMEs by easing some rules and regulations. And we now, if you want to register a company in Myanmar, it's much easier than previous years. Okay, just now he has mentioned we have about 20 co-working spaces in Myanmar, in Yangon actually. Okay, this is the media. Okay, I would like to highlight that our media landscape has been changed, totally changed from print media to digital fast media. So everything now on the social media. If you want to advertise, just go for the social media. Okay, this is the market penetration on each medias. You can. Okay, thank you. And this is the financial inclusion. Please look at these areas. Those are the opportunities for you to invest if you want to come to Myanmar. It can also be the threat. Okay, those sectors are the Myanmar's currently fast growing sectors in Myanmar. Okay, those are a few examples, our inspirations to grow as a startup. So we inspire those people and grow as a startup. Thank you.
Okay, question from Myanmar, from Cambodia. Cambodia.
Thank you for your presentation. My name is Bernard from Cambodia. And the question is related to technology literation.
Okay.
How do you think? How do you see yourself challenged with technology iteration? And is there any plan for from the government to support that education for technology to rural areas?
Okay, we have the organizations like computer federations. Those federation, because I am in the IT industry, so the organization, that federation is trying hard to push the government to invest in people to promote their literacy, the digital literacy. So mainly we are planning to focus on the university students. Okay, if we can educate them, they can educate their families, and then that literacy can be expanded. Don't look at other things, just look at the Facebook. Now in Myanmar, even your grandpa and grandma can use the Facebook. Previously, they don't know how to use it. Now they are very good at it. So that's the reason we would like the government to focus on the universities, students, and high school, the students, to educate the literacy. Then from there, I hope, this is my personal opinion, I hope we can promote the digital literacy in Myanmar.
Yes, government is promoting the digital literacy rate. So we now have a Yangon Innovation Center, which is a joint venture between the CSTAR and the Yangon government. So we have probably the biggest co-working space in Myanmar right now. You can accommodate up to 1,000 co-workers, which is quite a lot. And so the strategy is you start from the city area, then you can grow slowly to the rural area. That's the strategy. Because if you just like go to the farmers and like, okay, this is the phone, this is the app, how to use it, it will take a very long time. So what we do is we start from the bottoms up. So we teach the children how to use the phones. Then the children will teach them back, the mom and the dad, how to do the technical thing.
Another question just from me, my curiosity. So you show that the fintech, like financial services, are growing sector, right? And given that you just mentioned about low literacy rate in terms of digital literacy, so is this an obstacle for the people in general in Myanmar in adopt the digital banking or mobile banking in your country? Or is the obstacle, or what do they do to tackle with such obstacles?
Huawei has invested in Myanmar jointly. Huawei jointly, Huawei from China and the Cambodia KBZ Bank from Myanmar has jointly opened one payment mobile money platform. They have launched it recently, and their penetration is, their focus is to penetrate the rural areas. Since the Cambodia Bank has its branches all across the country, so they start from the rural areas, educate them. They have spent quite a number of money to educate the rural areas, to teach them how to use the application. So they have, that's why the mobile wallet has been recognized by the rural area. But from my perspective, from my point of view, it may take time. But who knows? It might be just a year.
Yeah.
It's also the license issue. And because to do the mobile banking, you need a license. The licenses can be very difficult to get. you need 1 million deposit to get the license. I mean, that is a quite challenge for a lot of startup. But if you can do that, you get the license, I think there are still a lot of rooms for the startup to penetrate in the market. For example, Thai fintech companies, they can easily go to Myanmar and do that. We have true money already. We expect more of the regional players to Okidol is the local one, so to come play. So we have like telco back fintech. We have a local one. We also have like Telenor, and we also have like the regional one like True Money. So we are expecting more of them to come. The reason is we have extremely low banking populations. That means people will use more digital monies and mobile money, mobile wallet. We're expecting more to happen. But as long as you have a good negotiation with the government, you get the license, I think you're good to go.
We are expecting to leapfrog from the credit card transactions to the mobile money transitions. That's what we are expecting.
Thank you for your presentation. So can you share to us some tips to work to do business in Myanmar? Like last time, this guy said quite useful information, but I don't know to do business in Myanmar. What kind of thing we should pay attention to, and to work with the people in your country, for example, what kind of experience?
I think you can add. I will customize for your company, because I talked to you a little bit. So I to review. So right now, the education industry is also booming. I mean, all of us, Asians, we have a value that, our children should be more educated than our parents, right? That's the standard value that we believe in. So you have like very small institution, you have like medium size, you also have like unis and also international school, but there is no proper platform at the moment to do that. So when I was talking to you that you want to go to Thailand and to Singapore, I was thinking like maybe you could also come to Myanmar, because there are a lot of institutions and people will pay for it. So right now, each household, the parents spend 20 to 40% of their income on their children educations, so which is quite a lot. So also the cultural tip, just to give you a bit of more information, it's our culture is very similar to Thailand. It's also very similar to Cambodia. So if you have experience with the Thailand and Cambodia, I think you'll be fine in Myanmar.
If you're interested in investing in education sector, it's a lot of room in education sector. And right now, there are a lot of interest from education service provider from Singapore, New Zealand, Australia. They are looking business opportunity in Yangon, and also U.S. and U.K. Education sector. They already invested in Myanmar. So like ILBC is going to invest about $50 million to open their school in Yangon, Mandalay, and Naypyidaw. So this is how the education sector is growing.
I would like to add on top of that. If you want to come to Myanmar, you should find the influencer, the local established business to joint venture to penetrate into the market. Because Myanmar has a typical, Myanmar consumers has a typical culture, and that can only be handled by the local partners. That's from my point of view.
Question, yeah.
Yeah, question. So as rural is coming up now, 70%. And my question is, any platform are already success today to develop of rural e-commerce? Can you tell me how many companies that's already success to develop them?
Okay, for the e-commerce, e-commerce development is still young in Myanmar. Most of us prefer cash on delivery instead of the online payments. That's one thing. Talking about the rural areas penetration, we have one good example, not e-commerce session, it is the money transfer service, like Wave Money, OK Dollars. Previously, they used banks or post offices to transfer money from one place to another. Now, most of the people from the rural area, they use that kind of money transfer service. It's like mobile banks.
Yeah,
They-
sorry. For example, in Thailand, Lazada and Shopee is successful, right? On the wholesale and retail. So I really want to know that what's the name of the company they are develop, use the platform to develop rural area in success. Any company? One or two?
We have Lazada as well, shop.com, shop.com. They're trying, they haven't penetrated yet. But I think if you want to come, think about like, can you compete with the Alibaba company? Like, do you have the same budget like them?
Okay,
Yes.
now the Alibaba already can develop of rural area. Is
Taobao,
that?
rural Taobao, yes.
Or Taobao. Yeah, thank you. That is my question. And the number two, wholesale business in Myanmar, is that the local product can sell the most or import products?
Right now, wholesale is managed by the two big companies, which one is Metro. Metro is a German company that are also quite active in the region. And you also have a City Mart, which is a local company that are trying to compete with Metro, but they started with a retail. So your question is that you can sell you can sell the market, or you can sell the product or not. Can you say that again?
My question is, what the most popular import products
Okay.
or the
Got
local
it.
product
Got it.
can sell in?
The problem is we're not very nationalistic. So we consume product from China, from Thailand. So a lot of the product you see in the markets are from those countries. But at the same time, you also have a local initiative like Made in Myanmar, like the product. So it's like a Make in India product. So we try to have a local industry as well.
Thank you very much.
Please let me add on. It depends on which type of industry, what kind of products you are talking about. If we are talking about the clothes or food, we prefer local foods because they are fresh. But if you are talking about cosmetics, electronics, we mainly import from China and other countries.
Thank you very much. We talk more.
Jirat from Thailand. I would like to know the character of property in rural, in urban area in Myanmar. Is it single detached house, condominium, shop house? And another question is, do the people buy property from real estate developer or is own built by own?
All right. The real estate market is not saturated yet. I think right now you have two big platforms running. One is Shui Property, recently acquired by the Australian VC. The other one is the imyanmar.com, which is a local run, but they are in a Series A, Series B stage. So they focus only on the Yangon, Mandalay, the very urban area. The rural area market is still very fragmented. So there is no platform that can do that because got the digital literacy rate. It's very, you don't want to be the first mover because you have to educate the market, which is very expensive. So right now the answer is no. How the local sell the house and stuff is like, I know your grandparents, my grandparents. They will ask you like, how much is the land price? Okay, like $10,000. Okay, I'll pay $10,000. It's happened mostly in cash. Everything happened in cash. So we will bring all the big cash and then just give it to them. So if you're looking for the opportunity to penetrate in the rural market, 70% rough of 50 million people, I think you still have a big opportunity to go. Condominium law, I think we're trying to have a proper condominium law like in Thailand, so that foreigners can buy. The reason is in 2010, there was a lot of foreigners coming in. The house prices are crazy, so we are more expensive than New York at that time. But now it's going down. Nobody's buying, and the rent is going down really bottom. So what government is trying to do is they try to have a condominium law that foreigners can buy. So you have a lot of international investors coming in.
Yeah, I have a question. Actually, I have a lot, but I'm just gonna ask a few. Okay. I would like to know more about the consumer behaviors in Yangon, since they have like Yangon door-to-door, food to you, and Grab. Like, how do they find it? Do they find it easy and attractive to use like online services there? Yeah.
If you are talking about Yangon, yes. Population in Yangon use credit cards, non-use credit cards to make online payments, and they can really use mobile wallets very well in Yangon, because Yangon is a city, a busy city. Most of us are working, so those online platforms can help their lifestyle. They can help their lifestyle make easy. So if you're talking about Yangon, yes.
I have one last question.
It's okay.
Because I have done some research for Myanmar, and there's one question that's still unclear about the rules and regulations in Yangon. Since like I've heard that in Yangon we are not allowed to use motorbikes, right? Yeah. I've asked local people. Some said that yes, you can. Some say no. Some said yes, but restricted in some area. So I'm still unclear about this, and yeah, I would like to hear from you guys.
Using motorbike in Yangon municipal area was banned since 2003 or something. Yeah. So it's.
Are you from a food delivery company?
Yes.
Okay, now makes sense. Okay. Okay. Got it. But motorbike is banned, but you can use the bike. So food to you and door to door, they can bicycle. You know, they have.
What
a
about
bicycle.
scooters?
Sorry,
Scooters.
no scooter. So any sort of like engines that can go up to like 10 knock. Like you have a battery, then they consider illegal. But people are already doing already. It's not difficult. You have a benchmark of 2 company. If you want to come in, I think shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, your concern is right. Rules and regulations. Enforcement of the rules and regulations is a big challenge in Myanmar right now. People are striving for that, and government is trying to implement it, but we are in the middle of the progress. Maybe we are rounding a cycle to go to the end.
Okay, there's some questions and comments from here.
I got a question. Last year I joined Pandya Accelerator program, and then I got selected. And then I was hesitating to like discuss with them because they asked me one part of the equity, and then they want to invest to my mother company. Then I'm not sure that how about the health and beauty business in Thailand. Should I step in Myanmar at this time, or I have to wait until like people trade more online or using more e-commerce platform? And also like the trend of the beauty business is still like 9% of the total.
From my point of view, the beauty segment is growing. Most of the merchants sell their products from Korea or Thailand, from China. They sell it online. And we are seeing more beauty salons opening up in the rural area. So the social media has influenced them to make themselves beauty. So I think there are some opportunities in Myanmar, but that's just now, like I suggested, you need to find the local partner to partner with you, so that because they know their place very well.
I think I know you. I heard about you because I'm also a graduate from Pandya Accelerator. They were negotiating with your equities and evaluation part, if I can remember correctly. If you are asking about the beauty cosmetic product sales in Myanmar, so right now we have a bit of issues, which is the beauty product from Thailand, and that they are sold illegally in Myanmar, but they're not FDA approved. So what happened is you have like all the like ants and like, you know, all the nasty thing on your face. Maybe because it's just not it's just specific to one person. But right now the government is trying to have a law that all the product from abroad has to go through the proper FDA process. Then you can sell. The trend is people having more income because of the telco investment from, because the money trickle effect. So everybody income raise up. Now you have different investment from telecom sector, oil and gas sector. So those money were, put it back in the ecosystem. So people have a rising income. So right now people are looking to buy more product, like better product, to be more, beautified, to look like Thai or to look like Koreans. That's the trend at the moment. So beauty business has a good potential.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I have one add-on advice for you. If you're penetrating Myanmar with the beauty products, you might consider made in Korea products.
Okay, but for me, I'm not going to do that. But in Thailand, I'm using like I see some brand because I'm doing business to business. I'm producing, and then some people ask me to do their private labeling. So I see that the trend of the market, they do made in Thailand, but actually they communicate with the design. Yeah, and I try to do the trial market in Myanmar as well by inject some money to Facebook advertising, and it seemed that the conversion is good. And then there are some brand producing with me right now, and they can sell very well in market. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can share a little bit on Myanmar. Myanmar, I think, is an interesting country for investing, but it's a big country, big population. As you can see, the urban population is still small. So if you look at Myanmar, actually the city that has the population more than 1 million, there is maybe only 3 cities. The rest is only the second tier city is like city with 100 to 200,000 people, and the rest is much smaller, and they are all scattered in the country that 30-40% bigger than Thailand. Myanmar growing from the country that whatever you like to do, you need to get permission. So in terms of point of view of the government, the way they look, the way they control is, they control whether you're gonna get permission to do or not to do. So majority of the law and regulation is based on that point of view. Like even like if you want to do one retail shop, it's not easy because the law is not allow foreigner to do. Only recently that the new retail law allows, but the investment is so huge, 3 million, 5 million US for capital injection. And then I think Myanmar is growing, but the key thing that gonna drive the city to grow is they have to change. They have to transform their law and regulation fast. Like you can see the industry that can grow fast is telecom, because the law and regulation has been changed, totally changed a few years back. And then you can see that the whole industry for telecommunication is growing very fast. But the rest is still quite slow, still very slow. When the laws and regulation is not there, even the demand is there, like electricity, water. Up to now, the country been open for 10 years. The electricity still has no hope to be adequate to supply, especially now. Once in every few days in a week, you're gonna have like formal electricity cut out in your area. This is what's happening now. Yeah. So when you want to move into Myanmar, the first challenge that you're gonna face is how to deal with the regulation there. There's a key things. How fast the regulation gonna move. Like last year we have Starbucks that plan to invest there, but at the end of the day, after 8 months, they cannot open their shop. They pull out. I think it's one of the most difficult country to start investing. One good advice is you should look for reliable consultant partner that can really advise how to move there. Otherwise, you're gonna stuck in very in a dark room.
How about special economic zones? How do you find on those special economic zones?
The Tilawa economic special economic zone, I think is a good start. Actually, that is one of the good example of how the law can help really drive the economy. Like in Tilawa economic zone, they have like one-stop service for the company that gonna invest there, and that come by the special economic zone law. That really help facilitate the factory or the company that would like to set up there. They can do wholesale, they can do like import clearing with much shorter lead time. Yeah, I think the special economic zone is a good idea, and it's a good policy that they do. But Myanmar, I think the property price from very long time, the property price there is quite expensive compared to Thailand. So once they start to open up the country, the price even go much higher. And if you compare like Tilawa and some industrial zone in Thailand, the price is not different, or maybe in Myanmar maybe even more expensive with lesser facility. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, how charming your country is. Never stop asking. Okay, I think I'm going to break how hot it is, the session. So keep in mind, we still have another coming up 3 interesting countries. 5 minutes breaks.
Okay, thank you.
Bring all the breaks and refreshment in. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So time for toilets.